Hey, howdy everyone, Lawson here, back in action for looking where the cat cafe was attraction. That's right, we're looking at the past judgment area where there should have been a cat cafe. It seemed like there is one, in a technical speaking, like they clearly remembered something of it, but I don't think we can go visit it. Harmless, there's something else over here that I've got to do. Waha, what is it? I don't know. Some sort of stalker. Hey, what's that guy doing? Maybe he's an alleged stalker?
Excuse me.
Excuse me, sir? What are you doing there? Oh, are you the police? No, I'm not the police. I'm here because people are talking about you on Chatter. Talking about me on Chatter? What's going on? Sir, could you please come down so we can talk? If you're not the police, who are you? This is who I am. You're a detective?
Yep.
There were rumors about a stalker all over social media, so I thought maybe there was something going down. They thought I was a stalker? Oh boy. Well, what have you been doing there all day? I'm the owner of that building over there. My name's Daichi Kiba. The cat cafe? Do you have proof you own that building? Sure, right here. That's me on the homepage, see?
I see.
Yeah. Okay. So you were, what, monitoring the building that you yourself own? Why? Well, it's a little complicated, but it seems someone's been breaking into our building. An invisible burglar at that. The invisible burglar. An invisible burglar? The hell? I gotta ask more about that. Alright, guy, what is this about a burglar? He doesn't like ham, does he? Kiba-san, I'm a detective, so I may be able to help you out. If you tell me a little more about this invisible burglar you're trying to catch. I don't know, is it pricey to hire a detective? I can't pay you much.
No.
Don't worry, I won't charge you. Curious enough about this to do it pro bono. If I do solve the case, why don't you consider hiring us in the future, okay? Sounds like a good offer to me. Deal. I should ask Kiba-san for more details about the case. Like I said, that's my building. One of my tenants is firm that's renting out a whole floor. There's been a series of burglaries there.
Oh.
What was stolen specifically? Money in the safe was just slowly dwindling. Plus the employee wallets were disappearing. Hell, even snacks in the fridge were getting mysteriously eaten.
Huh.
A variety of things have been stolen over time. It's strange. Any idea on who the suspect is? Well, the CEO of the firm is convinced it's someone on the outside. He doesn't seem to like the idea it could be one of his employees. Of course. That's understandable. Okay, what about the reason? I see why the tenant's so concerned, but you're going above and beyond by watching for the burglary yourself. It's because I personally guarantee the building's security for my tenants. Now that there have been multiple break-ins, I've been getting all these complaints.
In other words...
So you want to catch the suspect yourself. You're willing to watch your building from morning till night to do it. Well, actually, I just started this morning. Can't believe word got around so fast. Okay, but what about a better security system? Still think it's a good idea to guarantee the security of the place? Of course! I mean, if anyone had tried to break in, security system would have been tripped. Got security cameras in the hallways, all that stuff. But there's never been any stranger in the footage.
Does that mean...
If that's the case, maybe this is someone on the inside. Perhaps, but there was this one incident where the employees were in the meeting and every single one of their wallets was stolen. But we're an inside job. Why would everyone's wallets be stolen? Sounds strange at first, but the thief could have taken his own wallet to avoid being suspected. That's true. Apparently they checked everyone's bags right after the theft. Nobody had the stolen wallets. Any possibility that they were carried out before the bag check? I don't think so. The security camera in the halls have been caught, would have caught any employee who was carrying out wallets. In fact, nobody's in the security footage from the time of the theft to the time of the bag check. We looked around the entire floor, couldn't find the wallets.
I see.
So the possibility the thief was the employee is pretty low. And that's why you're thinking the perp is somehow invisible. Because nobody showed up on camera? Yes, I know how ridiculous it sounds.
Excuse me.
Mind if I look around the floor myself, Kipa-san? Around? Think it would help you find the thief?
Yep.
Sure. Or at the very least, it'd be useful in some way. Very well. Let me ask the attendant. We got the green light. They want you to conduct an investigation. Glad to hear it. Let me know whenever you're ready. I'll take you to the floor in question. Alright. Might as well. Sakura Saka-san. Zaska? Za? Huh? Okay. Thank you for allowing us to investigate. We're gonna find out who the burglar is, right? Yes. Yuki Yagami-san is a great detective. He's going to solve our mystery. Oh, great detective, you say? Certainly will do my best. Please feel free to do what you need to do for the investigation. Other employees go on break. Thank you. Can I ask what this company's business is? Customer credit. I think there was a different firm here before. Are they a new attendant? That must mean you have a lot of cash on site. Yeah, I'm sure that's what the burglar is after. In fact, money's been stolen from our safe a few times already.
Does that mean...
But I presume the safe is locked and kept secure? Of course, no one outside the company would be allowed to open it. But supposedly it wasn't an inside job. Mystery deepens.
Excuse me.
Could you tell me more about precisely when the burglar strikes? It happens late at night after operating hours, or very early morning. Except when the floor is mostly empty because the employees are in a meeting. Where's your conference room? We rent one out since our own office is time. It's in the building next door. Interesting. So the burglar attacks not just at night, but also during short amounts of time when the floor is effectively unoccupied. Yes, which is really strange. We lock all our doors and we even have security cameras on the entrances.
Either way.
You have security cameras in the work area? No, I did consider it, but then decided against monitoring the employees.
I see.
I understand that. Well, let me look around the floor. I'll let you know if I find anything. Please do. Thank you so much. An invisible burglar, huh? Okay, let's look at every nook and cranny on this floor. Report to Sakura Saka-san with any conclusion I can make. My detective gadgets might come in handy.
What the?
Is this a bug bomb? Looks like the kind that produces smoke. Yeah, sadly we seem to have some in the attic. Big ones, too. I thought I could set it off when the employees weren't around, but I totally forgot about it. Obviously, I have to stop company operations when it releases smoke. And these things produce a lot of it. I would like to use it soon, though. We've been busy. We've just been so busy. It was never a good time. Yeah, rushes in the attic could be some pretty annoying office mates. That's pretty loud. Like for something really big. How could it be roaches? Okay, I really doubt it's that.
Suspicious.
Food garbage. It looks like... What, again? I've been telling everyone to put their trash in the trash can. Again? This happens often? It's been happening more often recently. Seems we have some untidy people. But you don't know exactly who? Okay. Several bug bombs.
Hey.
It looks like a solidly built safe. Yes, our security is top notch. Someone still managed to stack money from it every now and then? Yes, it is puzzling. Who knows the passcode? A limited number of people like myself and my secretary. I can't imagine any one of them stealing. Okay. Alright.
Suspicious.
A katana? Oh, that's related to a hobby of mine. Is this a Yakuza office? Is it really? Is it real? You bet. It costs an arm and a leg at a pawn shop. So it's very expensive, yet it wasn't stolen, huh? Good point. Never even thought about that. Could easily be sold for good money at any pop shop. But why wasn't it stolen? Yeah, I think this is an honorable, what you call, not grifter. I forget what they're called exactly. Not slacker. Not that. You have a refrigerator? Yes, for the employees. Oh, that reminds me. Some employees get their food stolen too. Or their snacks were eaten. Yes, like their pudding or ice cream cups, or even bento box leftovers. Guess the burglar works up an appetite while he's robbing the place. Something weird is going on. Squatter, there you go. There is a noble squatter here who only takes certain things.
Suspicious.
But he's still a squatter. Wait, what's that? Handprints? Why there be human handprints up there? Something the matter, Yagami-san? Saka-san. There's an inspection hatch from the ceiling, right? There looks to be handprints on it. What the? Well, that's kind of creepy. Mind if I open it? Not at all. Alright. Now then. It won't open. Maybe something's stuck in there? That's strange. It opened when a serviceman came here not too long ago. That sounded... I don't know if it's a mouse or a roach, but it's gotta be a huge one. It's time for me to use that gadget. Beep. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Beep.
I can hear it.
Huh? What's that noise? A mouse stomach growling? No, no way a mouse stomach sound like that. Which means... Yagami-san, have you finished looking around? I think so. I think I have all the clues I need. I got a good idea now. Food, garbage on the floor. Empty employees' leftovers and desserts being eaten. The ceiling hatch now opening for some reason. Strange sounds coming from the attic. Expensive katana that was never stolen. I think I know who the invisible burglar might be.
Excuse me.
Sakura Saka-san. Kiba-san. I know who the culprit is. Really? Wow! So who was our invisible burglar?
Yep.
The invisible burglar was... a ghost. There's still a ghost. What if it was a ghost? What if it was a ghost? I gotta. It's funny. Invisible burglar is a ghost. A ghost?
Yep.
A ghost can be invisible, you know. Like the special detective you brought us today, Kiba-san. Not my finest hour, I suppose. Wait, that was just a joke to lighten the mood. Here, think this over. The culprit is still up in the ceiling. Huh? Right now?
Yep.
Yes, just listen. Listen. What was that? That sound? I thought it was just a big cockroach.
No.
It's too big to be a roach. The burglar. It's living in your attic. The burglar lives here?
Yep.
Correct. That's why he had no need to go outside and why he was never caught on camera. I'm betting he took the cash and the wallets up to the attic. The only reason the expensive katana wasn't stolen was because he couldn't take it up. What do you mean?
If I have this right.
Well, it'd be hard to maneuver through that tiny inspection hatch if the attic ceiling is low. Wouldn't even fit up there. Oh yeah, I see that. I'm going to guess the food went missing because the burglar came down whenever he got hungry. Probably been using the toilet on the floor as well, just like any tenant. My goodness, so the burglar was just always been here, even as we were working.
Yep.
Yep. He must be one quiet fella to avoid getting caught. As for who exactly it is, well, why don't we have him come out right now? Have him come out? How? I can think of a few ways. I might be able to use that. A bag of potato chips. Oh, of course. A good sword! It's a real katana. Let's use this. The katana. How are you going to use that? Ever see those period dramas where the official yells, "You ruffian!" Stabs the ceiling because he thinks a ninja is hiding in the attic? Your ceiling is low enough that we could do the same. But that's so violent! We could end up with a dead body in the attic. Yeah, that's so right. It's funny. Okay, guess that's a no-go. How about... I mean, the roach is the same way. I'm just saying. Let's use this use this to smoke them out. The bug ball. Oh, I get it.
Yep.
Everyone's out of the office now anyway. So let's take out one giant cockroach. Since it's harmless to humans, I'm sure it won't kill him. Well, no, I'm looking forward to how this turns out. Oh, holy smokes! Damn it!
No way.
Did I Just as we suspected, we smoked it out a giant roach. Oh. Oh, wait! You're Mita-kun, aren't you? Hi there, sir.
Hmm?
You know each other? Yes, this is, Koro, Mita. I asked him to leave the company about half a year ago.
Huh?
Leave the company? So he used to work here? Mita-kun, I want an explanation. Why were you living in the attic? Cause, after I was fired, there was no way I could pay the rent. And I knew at my home I'd get hounded by the debt collector. Seriously?
Seriously?
You've been living up there the whole time since you were let go? Yeah. The night I was fired, I decided to stay and never leave the office. That way, the debt collector couldn't find me. I could eat anything in the fridge, and I could stay warm thanks to the heater. I don't believe this. There was never a need for you to break into this office because you just never went outside, huh? That's why the security camera in the hallway never caught you. And why the alarm never went off. Well, of course. As great as our security system is, can't do anything if there's no actual burglar.
Hey.
Were you also the one stealing wallets and taking money from the safe? You didn't know the passcode, didn't you?
Hey.
Hey, speaking of, where is the money? It's up in the attic. I couldn't take it out of here because I knew I'd be caught on camera. Bring the money down now. I want to check if that's all there. Yes, sir. You count the money, Sakura Saka-san? Yeah, but it's all there. I found the employees' wallets too. Glad to hear.
By the way.
Now then, what next? Should we call the police? No, we got the money back, so we don't need to get the police involved. And the firing, it really was because of the things the company did, not him. I actually have been feeling pretty bad about it. Please do not sympathize with people that steal from other employees. I don't like it. I think he is just straight up the villain. Like, there's literally this one little Reddit thing where, like, am I the asshole? And, like, I, like, spiked the food that I was eating specifically for me to have diarrhea. So if they ate it, if the person ate it, they would have diarrhea. And people are in the comments going like, oh, that was way too far. That was going too much. And just like, if they didn't eat it, they would not have got it. That's kind of the whole point. You don't get to just eat someone else's lunch. It's a very sacred thing to just steal someone's lunch. Literally, I would call that self-defense at that point. If it's consistently happening over and over again, you're trying to get someone to stop doing that and they don't stop, and you're like, oh, I gotta get the diarrhea pills because this person just won't stop. So that is teaching justice as far as I'm concerned. And I do not like that they're just like, oh no, you know, like he just like lived in the building and just, you know, I just stole people's things and just whatever. Nah, he's a bad person. He deserves to be arrested. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. Very few things that I'm like, arrest him, officer. This is one of those times. Just saying. What?
Huh.
Alright, that's your decision. Sakura Sasuke-san. Thank you for not calling the cops, sir. I'm sorry. Mita-kun, I have a reason for letting you go instead of someone else when times got tough here. Let you go because I was sure you could land another job. Still young and full of potential. Full of potential? Me? All I did was make mistakes. And because you carry the workload of 3 people, it's no wonder you made mistakes. Do you think that? Yes, of course. Doesn't change the fact that you and the company have done selfish things. It may upset you to hear this coming from the guy who fired you, but you could rebuild your life. I know you can. Yes, sir. I'll do my best. Thank you very much, Hakami-san. Glad our case was resolved. Sure was a surprising one. Never thought that a former employee would stay in the attic after he got fired. I think I never would have noticed. This isn't much at all, but it's a token of our gratitude. Thank you. Better get going now. Our agency is always looking for work, so if you have any issues, don't hesitate to reach out. Absolutely. I'll let everyone know about the great detective, Takayuki Yagami. We finished it! The visual performer. Okay. Now that we got all that taken care of, there isn't a whole lot else for us to do. So let's go ahead and finally talk to the people here. Okay, after a few little things, we're finally here. Sori-san, let us discuss, like true scholars, like Plato, or, you know, The Rock.
Are we ready, Yagami-san? Let's start with our visit to Mamiya-san, if that sounds reasonable to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start there.
So, the victim's story is completely in line with her court testimony, huh?
That's correct. There wasn't anything new to pick up.
Unfortunately.
In which case, should we look into the murder video instead? Like, figure out how they made it?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Whether that tape's fake or real, someone had to put it online, right? Do we have any theories on who that might be?
Well, the footage showed enough of the surroundings to make the crime scene clear. As somebody who's been there, I can confirm that the blood splotches match what you see in the footage. Which means...
Uploaded Ehara's murder footage to the internet. Ehara posted the video itself. Compasses posted it. Kind of glad detectives posted a bit. The prosecutor posted the video. I don't think he could have posted it himself, if only for the second fact that it spread. And you can't, like, really spread a video that way without having somebody else.
the murderer's accomplices have to be the ones who posted it for him.
Yeah, I can't see it any other way.
I also agree with Yagami-san.
But in that case, what would their motive be?
Maybe they wanted to make a mockery of the police, or even the whole system.
Huh?
We know Ehara got himself convicted for groping, so he'd have an alibi for Mikoshiba's killing. But then, his conspirators turned it around by uploading the murder video online. Almost as if to say, look how he got away with it.
I see. Yeah, that does make it sound like he's taunting them.
That's well and good, but I'd like to shift gears. Let's talk about the actual fabrication of the video. How does one go about that?
Well, for example, the true culprit would be taped murdering Mikoshiba. Then Ehara's face would be copied and blended onto the killers. That's how they'd approach it in a Hollywood movie.
But then, wouldn't you be able to see traces of it being faked?
Tsukumo-san reported that he's found nothing of the sort in his analysis.
We've been down this road before. If we take the stance that the footage is fabricated, we have absolutely nothing to work with.
Then let's tackle this from the stance that the video's actually real. If that's the case, there has to be a flaw in the groping issue. I think we've collected enough evidence to find it too.
So, what does this do for us?
Once Ehara entered the Ikebukuro gates at 7:43 a.m. and stepped onto the platform, he was continuously monitored on camera. But if he really killed Mikoshiba at 7:30 like we saw, there's no way he could have reached Ikebukuro in time. That would mean the person in the footage isn't Ehara, but an impersonator.
So that's not really him?
Yeah. He's got the sunglasses and hat to help sell the disguise.
Yeah, see, I called that. I called that. I've been thinking about it.
Wait, if that's the case, after murdering Mikoshiba, wouldn't Ehara have to swap places with the stand-in sometime before being detained? But we didn't see any opportunity for that. Multiple cameras saw Ehara move right up to Mamiya-san as they board the train in Ikebukuro. And the onboard camera recorded them for the entire commute. Not only was the act caught on tape, but his failed escape from the scene was recorded as well. Ultimately, Ehara was pinned down before leaving Mamiya-san's sight, so she had an eye on him the whole time.
Right. So the current belief is that Ehara was caught on camera the entire time he was at the station.
But wait, that's not entirely accurate, is it?
Huh?
But Ehara wasn't constantly on camera between Ikebukuro Station and Shinjuku. The proof is here, because there is a blind spot.
Remember how we mocked up a diagram of the Shinjuku Station platform?
Yeah. No, wait! That's it! You could be onto something. There's a point where Ehara wasn't on camera at all.
What is this point you speak of?
Let's all go over the diagram so that everything will be clear. Here's what I want
love
you to
this.
see.
Oh, it's so good.
What the?
Right here. Yes, this is the spot I'm looking for.
It's very brief, but there's a moment where Ehara and Mamiya-san can't be seen by the security cameras. The dotted lines on the arrow represent the camera's blind spot.
It does appear so. So you're saying this is where the groper, the fake Ehara, traded places with the real one?
Can't say it's impossible, right?
Right. Except if that actually happened, Mamiya-san would have been right behind them at the time. Could the two really swap places without her noticing?
In a crowd like that, I think it's feasible.
If that really was Ehara's plan, then I'd say he was being careless.
Careless? How?
Well, on the day of the incident, the station was packed for morning rush hour. That means there was no solid guarantee the assailant could make the switch. He could have been nailed by any random passerby before reaching the blind spot.
Good point. Not only that, if Mamiya-san had called for help while the train was still moving, then the first Ehara would have been caught before even reaching the platform.
Oh, I mean, yeah! Called it.
Think about it, Yagami-san. Why would Ehara's accomplices meticulously plan out every last detail of this alibi, only to leave such a crucial component to chance, as Hoshino-kun pointed out?
Oh, just doing my job.
True. Good work, Hoshino-kun. In fact, I think that may back up my own take on it.
Yeah?
What if everything, including the appearance of leaving the plan to chance, was part of the plan?
Can you expound on that?
I'm saying I agree that such an airtight alibi wouldn't have allowed for contingencies. And that takes the question to another level. Just how far did they line up the pieces in advance to make the swap work?
Are you saying there's more to it than we discussed? What did we miss?
Everything on the day of the murder, including the train groping, was planned from start to finish. What else can we possibly deduce? Hiro Mikoshiba is still alive. I don't think that's the case. Yui Mamiya was colluding with Ehara. I don't think that's the case. Prosecution faked the footage. The real murder took place in Kamurocho? They could do that. Because then the accomplice would have to work. It would just be two people, really. I don't think she was colluding. I don't think that was the case. There is a possibility, but we don't have the evidence for it. That's my thing. I don't think the prosecution faked the footage. I don't think that's the case either. Because, like, it's something else. Maybe. Maybe?
Every last bit of footage, from the eyewitness recordings to the security cameras, was fabricated by the prosecution. If that's the case, the blind spot we found is irrelevant. That's because the real footage of Ehara tagging in for his double is all but lost to us now.
Why would the prosecution go to all that trouble? To hide Mikoshiba's murder?
Or maybe they sympathized with Ehara's plight?
You're saying his court adversaries orchestrated an elaborate cover-up out of sympathy?
Alright, I realize that's a stretch, a huge one. No need to burn me at the stake.
Was that all? You made it sound like you had this whole thing figured out.
No, hang on. Something just hit me. Ehara secured his alibi for the murder by swapping with a stand-in at the Shinjuku Station blind spot. For them to be able to pull that off, a certain possibility comes to mind.
Right, so what exactly would that be?
Everything on the day of the murder, including the train groping, was planned from the start to finish. What else can we possibly deduce? Alright, this is a possibility? It still is. I don't know why she would do it, though. That's my point. Where's the motive? We have to find the motive, then.
I know this won't go over well, but what if Mamiya was colluding with Ehara all along?
Huh?
Bear with me. Let's say Mamiya was in on this, and knew about the imposter in advance. If that's the case, the swap could happen right in front of her and no one but the three of them would know.
You're saying the victim of a groping conspired with her assailant beforehand? That's ridiculous.
That's the whole point of ridiculousness. Not a suggestion I'm fond of. I have to consider the possibility of Mamiya playing a part in this conspiracy.
Let me just say, I'm only trying to work out how a swap like that would be guaranteed to work. Now, if Ehara and his stand-in both know that Mamiya will pretend not to have seen them, they can trade places in the blind spot with impunity. Conversely, if Mamiya wasn't in on the plan, the idea of a swap would never work. We can say with certainty that she would have seen the swap, so...
And the way she talked about the groping in particular sounds very rehearsed. And I know that sounds kind of bad, but consider the following. She might be setting up everything else here because the way she says specifically, I would have recognized the hat. Not the face, not the breathing, not all the other little bit pieces here. It was the hat specifically that was her indicator for the assailant. And I think that might be the tip-off point right there. Honestly, it makes the most sense to me.
She could have even called attention to the real Ehara the moment he stepped in. That way, the people around her would be focused on chasing the correct assailant. The rest is as we know it. They caught Ehara and detained him until the police showed up.
Hold that thought. If your theory is accurate, what about Ehara's trace evidence? Remember that fibers of the victim's underwear were detected on his hand.
Well, that can also be explained by Mamiya being in on the plan. For example, while the stand-in was showing himself at the security cameras, Mamiya could have easily provided Ehara access to a pair of underwear at the same time. Maybe the stand-in loitered around for so long because he was letting everyone else get themselves in place.
It's not impossible.
We can work out the other details later, but the point is, Ehara's murder alibi is shot if Mamiya was involved. In summary, it's possible Ehara disgraced himself to secure an unshakable alibi for Mikoshiba's murder.
I'll concede that it's an avenue worth pursuing.
And when it comes to the prosecution, they can't just admit they got the first case so wrong. Plus, they can't question Ehara about Mikoshiba's murder. In fact, their only option is to claim the tape was faked.
So he managed to make a farce out of the system after all.
Well, his court case for his son's bullying did get more or less thrown out, didn't it? The school, the investigative committee, and the court all agreed there wasn't enough evidence to convict anyone. No surprise from me that the guy held a grudge against the system for so long.
Hold on. Before we all decide on this,
What's up?
the obvious question to me is why would Mamiya be party to such a crime? She appears more than financially stable, and she's even raising a child. So why would she do something so enormously risky as helping establish a murder alibi?
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet. But maybe she was promised something that far exceeds the risk. Or maybe Ehara has some kind of dirt on her even?
She did have a lot of expensive things. She did have a lot of that. It could have been a money situation.
Enough to make her help with a murder? What sort of secret would be big enough to force someone into that corner?
A 53-year-old patrolman, a married office worker, and mother. The only connection between them so far is the train station itself.
What info do we have on Mamiya anyway? Maybe we can spot a connection to Ehara through her profile.
I'll pull her information. Just a second.
Oh, I just thought of something else those two would have guaranteed by working together.
What's that?
If Ehara wanted to use this crime as a murder alibi, he needed it to blow up into the public eye. But if he had chosen a victim who stayed silent, then nothing would have come of it.
True.
A solid plan would need to eliminate that variable, which means Mamiya being an accomplice was crucial to Ehara's success.
That's true.
Looks like Ehara pulled one over on the prosecution then. Had his accomplices right where he wanted them, even his victim. Once we learn how he's connected to Mamiya, we can root out the rest of his team.
Let's see. According to her file, her maiden name is Yui Suzuki. 30 years old, so that's consistent. Originally from Ota, Tokyo. Attended a private high school called Kurakawa Academy. Later graduated from Toto University.
Huh.
Met her husband on the job, apparently. Her husband, Taichi Mamiya, is an industrial designer at Techno Zeta Inc. 6 years ago, she gave birth to their only son, Sotakun, who's now in first grade.
Hold on. You said she went to Kurakawa Academy? I heard that name in Ijincho. If I recall correctly...
Wasn't I just at the school? Isn't that where Tsukumo graduated? Someone spying on me went there. True!
When I went to scope out the murder scene, there were these 3 guys watching the detectives and me. They told us they were just checking things out, but they mentioned they're Kurakawa grads too.
You have any ID on you?
Will my license work?
Kake-san, age 30.
Akaike-san, age 30. Mommy is 30 as well.
What's that got to do with anything? Aren't we trying to find a connection between Mamiya and Ehara?
I found the Kurakawa Academy website. Looks like they're pretty prestigious. It's in Tokyo, specifically in Ota. Pretty close to where Mamiya lived. Oh,
What?
the girls there get such cute uniforms.
You little... You want to start all over from the bar exam?
Legitimately.
Wait, I've seen that uniform before too, actually.
Where?
On an old picture of a teacher at Seiryo High, Sawa-sensei. Ehara's son had confided in her.
Oh. Is she somewhat into this? Like she knows part of the little thing? Like she's a little more deeper than that. Oh. Oh. What if she was a bully too? And then the same thing happened with Mikoshiba. That could have been the case. And that's why they're setting this up like this. Ooh.
Is she actually a Kurakawa grad too? I don't know Sawa-sensei's exact age, but she could well be 30. Maybe all of them are even classmates.
Could this mean they're actually linked? The victim and her up-to-now unrelated assailant?
It's a tenuous link at best. Could fall apart any time. But no true detective alive would pass it up.
Oh, well, that's it for today, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you can. I'll see y'all later. Sayonara. Bye-bye.